Ah, the quiet joy of sitting back and being one with nature while patiently waiting for the day's big catch. No wonder a lot of people are hooked on going on fishing trips. But what if you reel in an actual sea monster? Prepare to be amazed, hook, line, and sinker by these 10 biggest catches of all time. What's up, Factnatics? This is Discovery Amuse serving up your daily dose of the most outrageous, outlandish, and out-of-this-world fun facts. Stay tuned for our number one pick because you wouldn't want it to take your bait come hell or high water. Let's dive right in. Number 10, Great White Shark. Who would have thought that it's possible to reel in a catch as heavy as a car, let alone an actual shark? The Jaws some feat was achieved in April 1955 by Australian shark hunter Alfred Dean. Alfred took deep-sea fishing to the extreme because for some reason he had a penchant for catching sharks. In 1952, he successfully caught his first shark, which took 45 minutes of struggling to keep the monster on the line before finally hauling it back to shore. But Alfred wasn't done just yet. In 1955, he ventured into the shark-infested waters of Ceduna in South Australia to wrestle yet again with great whites. This time, it took him 70 minutes to finally reel in his biggest catch yet. At 2,664 pounds, the gigantic shark was recognized by the International Game Fishing Association as the largest fish ever caught using a rod. Keep watching because our number one entry is one incredible sea creature you wouldn't even believe exists. Number 9, Mantis Shrimp. They're beautiful as much as they're deadly. So catch one of these creepy crustaceans at your own risk. The Mantis Shrimp, which isn't actually a shrimp nor a mantis but a stomatopod, are distant relatives of crabs and lobsters. Some mantis shrimp have mineralized club-like limbs that are capable of smashing their prey to pieces. A blow from one of their fists can go up to 50 miles per hour. Some species also have sharp, barbed forelimbs that they use to spear or snag their next meal. Mantis shrimp are sometimes called thumb splitters because they can inflict serious cuts to human hands.
God damn it!
If average-sized mantis shrimp could be this powerful, imagine what a ginormous one can do to you. Thankfully, fisherman Steve Bargeron's hands were perfectly fine after he caught a massive 18-inch mantis shrimp while fishing at Fort Pierce in Florida. I guess we can consider this an overkrill.
I'm sick of swarming.
Number 8, Blue Marlin. Commonly found in the tropical waters of the Atlantic and Indo-Pacific, is one of the largest bony fish species in the world, the blue marlin. You can easily spot one because of its signature spear-like snout. It can swim at 22 miles per hour in short bursts, making it one of the fastest marine swimmers on the planet. Take that, Michael Phelps! The blue marlin is also a favorite among sport fishers because of its size and fighting ability, so catching one with only a fishing rod will earn you some serious bragging rights. In 1970, a group of anglers on board a charter boat were fishing in Oahu, Hawaii when they reeled in the largest marlin ever caught with a rod and reel. The enormous fish weighed 1,805 pounds and just feasted on a 155-pound yellowfin tuna before becoming the prey itself. I wonder, though, if they partook of their catch because a blue marlin's meat can taste quite gamey. Number 7, Atlantic Goliath Grouper. These saltwater fish, which are also called jewfish, are usually found in shallow tropical waters. They're known for their brown or yellow mottling with small black spots on their head and fins. True to its name, the Goliath grouper can grow to enormous sizes that can reach over 8 feet and almost 800 pounds. In fact, the largest Atlantic Goliath grouper ever caught by hook and line weighed a whopping 680 pounds. That's about as heavy as a full-grown cow. It was caught near Fernandina Beach, Florida back in 1961 by using a Spanish mackerel as bait. However, these days catching them isn't the best idea because they are considered to be critically endangered. Number 6, King Salmon. The Chinook salmon is called the king salmon for a reason. It reigns supreme among all Pacific salmons in terms of size, as it is deemed the largest of the bunch. King salmon usually weigh around 30 pounds and can grow as long as 60 inches. With its massive size, king salmon are also sought after in the world of sport fishing. Sport fisherman Les Anderson scored the biggest catch on record when he caught a 97-pound salmon along Kenai River in 1985. However, there was a much bigger king salmon that was caught in a commercial fish trap in 1986. The giant fish, which was reeled in along the river's inlet in British Columbia, tipped the scales at a massive 126 pounds. Number 5. American lobster. The American lobster, also called the North Atlantic lobster, is a species commonly found in the cold Atlantic waters of Maine in the U.S. and some provinces of Canada. It is known for being the heaviest crustacean in the world. An average lobster of its kind usually grows up to 2 feet in length and could be as heavy as 9 pounds. But in 1977, a massive American lobster that was found off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, went on and snapped those figures to become the biggest lobster ever caught. The giant crustacean weighed an astonishing 44 pounds and was measured at 3.5 feet long. I can only imagine how much that costs when served at a fancy restaurant. Number 4. Giant sea bass. Although it is named the giant sea bass or the black sea bass, these sizable creatures are actually part of the wreckfish family, which literally inhabit shipwrecks and caves, hence their name. They usually live in shallow waters near drop-offs, kelp forests, or rocky bottoms. The giant sea bass can have a lengthy lifespan. Some of them can even exist for 7 decades. The largest giant sea bass ever caught spanned more than 7 feet and weighed around 563 pounds. It took the bait near Anacapa Island in California back in 1968. Commercial and sports fishing for these huge sea creatures were all the rage since the 19th century, especially along the coast of California. However, the giant sea bass population in the area already reached near extinction by the time the 70s rolled around, and in 1982, catching these mammoth fish was altogether prohibited. Number 3. Mekong giant catfish. Imagine going out to the river for a typical day of fishing and end up with a huge catch the size of a grizzly bear. That's what happened to a group of Thai fishermen who caught a 9-foot Mekong giant catfish near Mekong River, Thailand in 2005. It took them over an hour just to reel in the 646-pound massive fish, which experts say is the largest freshwater fish ever caught. However, the Mekong giant catfish is actually a critically endangered species. Thai fishery officials had its eggs removed for a breeding program and planned to release the catfish back to its habitat. Unfortunately, it didn't survive in captivity and was eventually sold as food for the locals. Number 2. Alligator Gar. Large body, broad head, and upper jaws with 2 rows of huge sharp teeth. No, I'm not talking about an alligator, but close, really close. Meet the Alligator Gar, a fish that has some serious identity crisis. With its crocodilian head, it can easily be mistaken for a ferocious reptile when you encounter one along the Mississippi River Valley. This megafish can grow up to 10 feet long and weigh nearly 350 pounds. And the biggest alligator gar ever caught was by a Mississippi fisherman named Kenny Williams. In 2011, Williams was out in Lake Chotard to catch some buffalo fish, but when he lifted his net, what he saw was not what he expected. Williams captured the largest alligator gar ever recorded. It measured around 8.5 feet. With a girth of 47 inches and tipped the scales at 327 pounds. It's estimated that the fish was already 50 to 70 years old. Okay, boomer alligator.
Never had Mexican food.
Before we go to our number 1 pick, do us a solid and make sure to smash the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Don't forget to choose all so you won't miss out on any of our latest life-changing, boredom-busting content. And of course, be sure to turn on notifications in your app settings. Number 1. Colossal Squid. Lurking underneath the deep ocean are massive and rare marine creatures that humans have yet to discover. That is, if we're lucky enough to catch sight of them. Even though some of these sea creatures are as big as cars, it can be quite a challenge for scientists to learn about them because of how elusive they are. One big example is the colossal squid. Aside from being the largest invertebrate, it also has the biggest eyes among animals with eyeballs the size of soccer balls. However, there have been rare instances when humans had close encounters with one of these deep-sea monsters. A group of fishermen from New Zealand once hooked a colossal squid when they were out fishing in the frigid waters of the Ross Sea in Antarctica. Unfortunately, the 33-foot, 990-pound squid was already on the brink of death when it was captured. It was then taken back to New Zealand for scientific studies and is now on display at the Museum of New Zealand Te Papa Tongarewa in Wellington. So, which of these fin-tastic beasts was your favorite? Comment them down below. Take home our exclusive gear by browsing our merch shelf or clicking the link in the video description. And while you're at it, take our quiz to find out how you can earn extra cash online doing what you do best. Awesome, right? And because you want more crazy creatures, I know you do, check out our countdown of the 10 deadliest animals in the world. Till then, stay epic, Factnatics, and see you in the next video.